here my Botanical cut lino print plate, and it's being cut into a jigsaw puzzle. You can see the pieces, it's all in sections, so it's pieced together. This is one way of having multiple colours on one block print plate. You can make this as easy or as difficult as you want. And this is the print that is produced from this print plate. Obviously, the printing there in reverse. And I've done a series of these in different colours, and it's fun. What I'm going to show you in this tutorial is different techniques, different methods, 3 or 4 different ways that you can use this print plate that you've cut. We'll start off with the most easy method and we'll move on to something more complicated at the end, which will be where you're inking up each of the individual pieces of the jigsaw, piecing it together and producing a print, which is how these have been created. For the first step, I'm not going to use what I would call the background jigsaw pieces. I'm just going to pull it apart here. So these I won't need, and I'll just put them to one side. We'll come back to those later. And I'm going to just use these 3 elements, the vase and the 2 leaves. We're going to begin by printing onto a piece of plain A4 Locta paper. And as you can see, there's a straight edge here. It was intended to come off the design, off the paper, because that leaf is so large, it can't even fit itself on the paper. So it's going to be quite important that I line up this edge with this edge. That's something to bear in mind before we get started. It might be that your design, you've made it so that it's floating. You might have a piece that's very similar to this piece on this side, in which case it'll be floating in the centre and it won't be as critical that you align any of the edges up. And I'm going to draw around the edge of the paper. And I'll just use this as a reference for lining up. So we're basically going to be inking up the parts, laying them down exactly where we want them, with the ink facing up, and then we'll be laying the paper over the surface by lining it up against the background.
My face above the water, my feet can't touch the ground, and it feels like I can see the sands on the horizon every time you are around, slowly drifting, wave after wave, wave after wave, slowly drifting, and it feels like I'm drowning, pulling against the stream. Against the wave, wave after wave, wave after wave, I'm slowly drifting. My face above the water, my feet can't touch the ground, and it feels like I can see the sands on the horizon every time you are not around. I'm slowly drifting away, wave after wave, wave after wave. I'm slowly drifting away, and it feels like I'm drowning, pulling against the stream, pulling against the. make it easy. Easy to love me, love me. Still I reach, find a way. I'm stuck here in between. I'm looking for the right words to say. I'm slowly drifting, drifting away. Wave after wave, wave after wave. I'm slowly drifting, drifting away. And it feels like I'm drowning, pulling against the stream, pulling against the.
Ready for the big reveal? Come out quite nicely.